Welcome to Success Power. There's a statement that changed my life several years ago. You will not be a contractor. You will be a preacher. Now you need to understand the background to that story. I was studying civil engineering in the Polytechnic on my way to working in my dad's construction firm. When that construction firm was registered, I was in Form 2 in the secondary school, and I was made the director of that firm. My vision of working in that construction firm influenced my choice of subjects in the school certificate examination. It influenced the course that I studied in the Polytechnic. But then one day, I heard my pastor preach, "For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also." He said there's a place where God has put your treasure in life. And he said you need to ask God to show you where it is so you can put all of your heart there. I got back to the hostel and said that prayer from a sincere heart. And a few days later, I woke up early morning and this statement was there quietly in my heart. You will not be a contractor. You will be a preacher. That altered the direction of my life. That helped me to discover the area of life where I would make the greatest impact that I could ever make on humanity. I discovered my purpose. And come to think of it, I grew up in this country. That business that I was supposed to work in eventually packed up, eventually crumbled. For several years, there was no construction work to do. Okay? So, we may have plans for our own lives. God has a plan for each life. And I should encourage also that if you have experienced adversity, the solution to it is a purpose. Your challenges may seem to tempt you to focus on yourself. You may begin to think that you have a special problem that nobody's ever had in this world before. My encouragement, you must not allow victim mentality to set in. You are not a victim of life, you're a victor. And like Oliver Wendell Holmes said, what lies within us is greater than the things that lie behind us and the things that lie before us. Whatever the adversity may be, the solution inside you is greater than the problem. Don't give in to discouragement. Once you have given up and you fail to try, that's when you really become a failure. I should also let you know, fulfilling purpose will be impossible without persistence. We must learn to hold on. Things don't always work out the first time. So we've got to be persistent and try again and again and again. You are not a failure just simply because an event did not work out. The truth is, you are actually not a failure until you fail to try. As long as you have that willingness in your heart to give it another try, you are not yet a failure. You ask the average person who is doing well, who is making impact around today. The truth is they've had their own shares of failure. I could write a book on failure. I have failed so many times. But the truth is, for every 99 times that you fail, the one time that things work out for you, that one time will more than compensate for the 99 times that it did not work out. That's how it works. Success grows best out of the ashes of failure. You can turn your failure into fertilizer, turn it into manure, sow the seeds of a new dream, sow the seeds of destiny. Give it another shot. Don't give up. In the midst of the difficulties of our environment and our country at this time, the truth is we can rise. The lion in us can rise up. Like I had a friend say some months ago about the bully who used to beat him in his village, and how one day he looked in the mirror and something told him, come on, you can do it, you can beat that guy. He said he walked straight out of his parents' house, went to meet that young man where they were playing, slapped him, picked him up, knocked him on the ground. And from that day, he lost fear of that young bully. You too can get out today. You can make up your mind. No more. I'm not a failure. I was not born a failure. God never made a failure. I am not God's mistake. I'm here to be a blessing. I cannot be a victim. I was not born to suffer. I was born to make impact on this life, and I'm going to add something to this life before I leave this world. And you know what? God will hear the cry of your heart. If you have failed before, I should let you know that last time you failed is the last time you will ever fail. I believe with you for a turnaround, your miracle may just be around about the corner. Anyway, today we should be discussing how to fulfill your purpose. If you have discovered your purpose has battered vision in your heart, you've discovered you have potential to be more than you are now, to do more than you have done, to go to places you've not gone, to have what you've not had until now. If you have discovered you are a solution, you can't be part of the problem, then you need to know how to take practical, active steps to turn your dreams into reality. We're discussing the topic, knowing your purpose. And as a reminder, I should let you know that you can discover your purpose by identifying the problem you've been born to solve. You were born for such a time as this, deliberately by God. To discover your purpose, identify that problem you were born to solve. What do you hate the most about what's going on in our society, about what's going on around you? And what do you love the most? What do you love to do? And by the way, what have you done so well by which people now name you? What do people call you? Sometimes it can be so obvious. And then remember that your design also reveals your purpose, your temperament, your personality style, your gifts, your talents. And then it's good for you to pray and ask God to show you the reason why He created you. And now, talking about fulfilling our purpose, the most important thing you should do is to first of all write out your purpose. Write a statement of purpose. I believe that my own purpose is to influence millions of people around the world to discover their potentials and their destinies, and to fulfill those destinies beginning with my family. That's my statement of purpose. So you need to write out also a statement of purpose. Secondly, you need to set goals. There's tremendous power in goals. You remember that we have said that success is not possible without goals. So you need to set big, hairy, audacious goals within the context of your destiny. If you are out to provide leadership for people in a nation, in a locality, then it will be very good for you to set the goals. When will you become a local government chairman or a councillor? When will you become a member of the State House of Assembly? When are you going to become a governor? When are you going to become a president? And how are you even going to prepare to occupy those offices? You need to now set goals for your life. Those goals need to be specific. Those goals need to be achievable. If you set unrealistic goals, you have failed, and you know it in your heart even right from the beginning. Don't set goals that make doubts to overcome your heart. Your goals must be believable. And very importantly, your goals must be measurable. They must be measurable. Once they are vague, your goal is to be rich. How rich? How much money will define your richness? The money you want may not be the same exact amount of money somebody else wants. So you need to be specific, and your goals must be measurable. And then also, those goals must be time sensitive. By that, I mean that you've got to set deadlines for each goal. There's got to be deadlines. There's tremendous motivating power when you have a specific deadline set to your goal. It activates your system, activates your faculty, and helps you to get unusual creative solutions from God to confront the issues that you need to confront in achieving your goals. The next step you need to take towards the fulfillment of your purpose is networking. You need to build relationships. There must be a reason why God said that it is not good for man to be alone. You see, we are not created for isolation, we are created for connection. There is tremendous power in synergy. The principle of synergy says that two of us will accomplish together many times over the sum of what we would have achieved individually. It's very important. When two people get to work together, they achieve a whole lot more. That's why today we have in the business world mergers and acquisitions all over the world, because even organizations have discovered that two of them would achieve much more if they work together than the sum of what they would have achieved separately. Please take relationships seriously. If your vision is God-given and it is big enough, it will be bigger than what you can achieve alone. If one man could have achieved all of God's plan for our world, then there would have been no need for creating the woman. Only one man would have done, and he would have done everything that could be done in this world. Truth is, God gave us power for procreation to teach us a lesson. We need a whole lot of human beings to achieve our assignment on this earth. So please, take your relationship seriously, beginning with your family. You need a home crowd. When you get out there trying to fulfill your purpose, it's a different ball game altogether. You have to take risks, and sometimes you have to take some knocks. Sometimes things don't work out exactly the way you want the first time. And sometimes you'll hear outrightly discouraging messages. Some people are going to tell you you're foolish for even attempting to achieve what you want to achieve. I remember that Marconi was arrested by his friends and he was kept away for quite some time just because he dared to suggest that the heater had intangible forces that could transmit sound over several kilometers distance. They thought he was crazy. The first man to build a steam engine, a boat with a steam engine, people laughed him to scorn. Even when he invited the whole town to come watch how he was going to move his boat upstream against the tide using the steam engine, people were sarcastic up till the last minute. In fact, the moment he began to move, somebody said, watch out, that thing is going to explode any moment from now. And eventually he moved it upstream, nothing happened. So you need to understand, you will hear cynics, you will hear people who are skeptical, but you need a home crowd. You are not an angel, you are not a superhuman being. Somewhere along the line, some of those messages may get across to you and tend to discourage you. You need your family behind you. Work at building relationships. Really, it's difficult to succeed without the ability to build relationships. Our family is given us as a testing ground. If you find you are different from your spouse, your children are different from you, you have to deal with issues, it's just a rehearsal. All the people you will ever deal with anywhere in the world will also have issues that you have to deal with. So, network, take relationships seriously, remember names, keep addresses, keep phone numbers, and more importantly, build that unique group of people that you know will help you in a unique way to fulfill. And then, of course, once you've taken those first two steps, then the most critical one, you have a dream, you have goals, you have a plan, you have people working with you. Take action. Take action. Throw yourself at that problem that you want to solve. Look at your plan. Begin to bite from the first step. Do something. Of course, preparation is very important. The first action you should take, prepare. Get ready. Get some training. Get some skill. Oh, yes, you're going to influence the whole country or the whole world with your music. But you know, you have to know how to sing. So you need to go to a music school or you get a teacher. You need to have a mentor. You need to learn. You need to practice. Nobody is going to accept your gift in its raw form. You need to refine it, give it some commercial value, build it up to world-class standard. And I must tell you, that's something we have to do in our country. We have to divorce ourselves from mediocrity. we will not be able to make the impact that God wants us to make on our environment and on the world if we keep doing things exactly the way everybody else has done them. Zig Ziglar said, for us to do things the way we have always done them is one of the definitions of insanity. Truth is, somebody needs to do it in a different way, in a better way. We need improvement. We need development. Yes, some people have been sewing clothes until you came around. You need to sew it in a better way. You need to do it in a better way. That transportation business, take it to a new level. That's what will make you to stand out. All right? Be different. Do it in a better way, okay? So we need to develop skills. Very important. We need to prepare. And more than that, jump into the fray. Don't wait for your ship to come in. Somebody said, swim out to meet it. Don't wait for things to happen. Make things happen. Change doesn't come easy. And then people don't even like change. So you're not likely to even get a lot of encouragement or cooperation for a start. But start all the same. I wrote a book titled, Start With What You Have. Most people believe that they don't have enough to start with. As long as you are expecting something you don't have before you start, you'll never start. God will never allow you to get to the point where there isn't something around you that you can start with. Start with what you have. Start where you are. Where you are is good enough for you to start from. Do something today. Make a move. Nothing happens until you make it happen. Nothing moves until you move it. In our world, it's a practical law. All objects tend to continue in their state of motion unless there's an interruption or a force that pushes them sideways. You have to push, you have to pull, you have to do it. Someone is giving excuses. It's because I don't have money, that's why I'm not getting an education. Why don't you take the exam first? Why don't you even go there? I read the story of someone in the United States, very, very popular preacher in the United States, Kenneth Copeland, talked about the day he reported at the university and how he went to stay on the queue without the money with which to pay for the first semester. And he was hoping, just hoping that something was going to happen. And the queue got shorter and shorter. He was moving closer and closer. And he was praying in his heart and wondering that something had to happen. And you know what happened? His plan was that he was going to use the phone on the desk of the officer who was taking the school fees to call his dad to help him out, if nothing happened until he got there. Of course, before he got there, something interesting happened. The president of the university, Oral Roberts, came by and asked the question. They just made an announcement. Is there anyone here who can fly a plane? Incidentally, Kenneth Copeland knew how to fly a plane. So they said he should come meet the president of the university. He walked up to his office. They asked if he could fly a plane. He said yes, he had the license. And the man said, from today you'll be flying me on our crusades. And with that, we'll give you a scholarship. That's how it works. If he had sat down at home, he wouldn't even have had that announcement at all in the first place. You have to have faith. You have to move like something is going to happen. And truly, when you make such moves, unseen forces come to your aid. Take bold action. And excuse me, listen. If you are meant to speak to people like myself, you're meant to organize seminars. You don't have to start with a hall that can seat 1,000 people or 5,000. Get a hall that can seat 50. Why not? Try and talk to 50 people. Let the place be filled up. Have some people standing outside. Share the testimony. You had an overflow crowd. And then the next time, get a hall that is slightly bigger than that. And just in case you've been rotating on the same level for so long, why don't you set a bigger goal? Why don't you go for it? Okay, why don't you dare it? If things don't work out exactly the way you have planned, at least you have tried. So I encourage today, take very bold action. Unseen forces will come to your aid. I thank God for the things I have attempted to do so far. Not all of them have failed. Some of them have worked out, and they have in fact worked out beyond my expectation. And please be persistent. If it does not work out the first time, do it again. Very soon, the world will hear about you. And finally, I will encourage that you evaluate your progress. Once in a while, do a review. Look at your goals. I do that every year. The last week of December, I bring out my diary, look at the goals I set for myself for the year. And there are some long-term goals I set also. January 1997 was a plan that spanned over 60 years. I had my 1-year goal then, 5-year goals, 10-year goals, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60-year goals. And some time ago I had cause, of course, to review when it was 10 years. I checked to see how far I had come. Almost all the goals had been achieved. There's tremendous power in goal setting. Planning is winning. Anyway, take time to evaluate your progress. See what is working for you. Check what is not working. And then make up your mind on areas where you need to make adjustments. Make those adjustments. Take your action again. Take the bull by the horn. Do it. Go for it. Jump. Take that leap. It's not a leap into the dark. When you are walking in line with your destiny, the bold moves that you make are not leaps in the dark, they are leaps into the light. I encourage you to dare this year something you've never dared to do before, but which you have been longing to do. Move from the realm of wishes to the realm of desire. And the proof of desire is pursuit. If you really want it, go for it. So there, viewer, that's my encouragement for today. Take bold action and fulfill your destiny. We are discussing the topic, knowing your purpose. By now, I believe, dear viewer, that you have prayed, that you have checked your design, your personality style, your temperament, your gifts, your talents. You have checked your passion, your heart. You've checked the things that have worked for you up till now and the things that have not worked. And you have an inkling, at least, on the problem you can help solve for your family, for the community, and for this country. My call today is for crusaders, because, like I said, your purpose gives you your crusade, the problem you want to solve, what you are willing to live for, and, if necessary, to die for. We need crusaders like that in our own generation, in our time, and especially in our country at this time. I hope, dear viewer, that your heart is beating with something, like my own heart is beating with something. And I hope that you'll make a bold move today. As you do, you will enjoy favor, you will enjoy provision, you will enjoy opportunity, you will attract people you never thought you would attract in your life. And more than anything else, you will enjoy fulfillment like you never thought you would enjoy it.